My name is Arthur Vance. I am 75 years old, and I have spent my entire life playing a game of chess where the only objective was to have more zeros in the bank account, more prestige, more square footage. Today I have everything money can buy, except for the only thing that truly mattered. I live in this 5-bedroom mansion, yet I only use one chair. I have a 10-foot dining table, but I eat every single meal alone. This opulent silence you hear in the background, it is my greatest regret. If you are listening to this and if you are still breathing, there is still time for you. Sit with me for a few minutes. Let my silence be your teacher. I wasn't always the man at the top of this marble mountain. I remember when it was just me and Sarah in a 1-bedroom apartment that smelled of cheap paint and big dreams. Back then, every dollar was counted. I promised her and myself that I would build an empire. I wanted her to wear silk. I wanted my children to never know what it felt like to want something and not be able to have it. I truly believed in my heart that love was measured by financial security. My wife, Sarah, was a constant flame on the periphery of my world, which was becoming increasingly frantic. My children, Thomas and Emily, were sparks of curiosity that I rarely had time to actually watch grow. I saw them through the rearview mirror as I pulled out of the driveway at dawn, while the city was still asleep, or through my office window as they played in the garden under the afternoon sun. It's for their future, I repeated like a mantra. The lie tasted sweet and metallic, just like the ambition that was consuming me. My true sanctuary wasn't this house. It was the back seat of a luxury sedan. The smell of new leather was my world. It was there that I won battles, closed contracts, and felt like a king. The scent of Sarah's coffee and Saturday morning pancakes were merely distant whispers that I abandoned to answer the phone. I remember one specific morning that haunts me to this day. I looked out from the balcony and saw Thomas, maybe 6 years old, trying to tie his shoelaces on the porch. He was struggling, his tiny fingers fumbling, his face red with frustration. Sarah was kneeling beside him, whispering words of encouragement, guiding him with infinite patience. I felt a pang in my chest, a sudden, desperate urge to go down there, to sit on the floor with him and show him how it's done. But my watch buzzed. A critical meeting was calling. I turned my back on that scene and drove away. I convinced my heart that the luxurious life I was building would compensate for my absence. I believed that success would speak louder than my silence. How foolish I was. Those were the years of the golden handcuffs. They shone brightly under the lights of my corner office, reflecting off my expensive watches. They promised freedom, but they bound me tighter than any iron ever could. On Sarah's 60th birthday, I planned a party that was the talk of every social column. I gave her a diamond necklace that cost more than the annual salary of many of my directors. She held the necklace, looked at the cold stones, and with a sadness I didn't understand at the time, she said, "Arthur, do you remember our first picnic? By the old oak tree when we had nothing but an old basket and dreams? You brought burnt hot dogs and I brought lukewarm lemonade. But we talked for hours about nothing and everything. That day was the richest day of my life. I never needed diamonds, Arthur. I only ever needed you. The man who wasn't afraid to burn the hot dogs." I just smiled, kissed her forehead, and walked away to take another call. I was giving her the world, but I was denying her my time. Thomas used to bring me drawings, stick figures with yellow crayon smiles. He would walk into my office with his face lit up, and I would just nod without taking my eyes off the screen, muttering a very nice chap and going back to my spreadsheets. Today, I have a drawer full of those drawings. Brittle paper, faded colors. They are neglected masterpieces, each one a silent plea for attention that I treated as an annoying interruption. My daughter, Emily, loved life. She loved gardening. Once, with dirt on her knees and glowing eyes, she tried to show me a unique rose she had grown herself. I was in the middle of closing a deal. I closed the office door and told her to come back later. Later never came. The rose withered before I could see it. And the connection with my daughter began to wither that very same day. I was building a legacy of concrete, while my legacy of flesh and blood was becoming a stranger to me. The most brutal irony was when Sarah fell ill. My mansion, which I built as a symbol of triumph, became a luxury hospital. State-of-the-art medical equipment hummed and beeped in sumptuous rooms. I had the best specialists in the world at her bedside, but none of them had a pill that could buy back the time I threw away. In those final months, I sat by her side every single night. I wanted to scream my love. I wanted to beg for forgiveness for every cold dinner, for every missed anniversary. But the habit of silence, cultivated for 40 years, was a concrete wall. The words stayed stuck in my throat. She passed away surrounded by the greatest wealth money can buy, but in absolute silence. When she took her last breath, I realized that silence wasn't just the absence of a voice. It was the roar of my regret. I polished my tombstone while I forgot to live. I tried to reconnect with my children after she was gone, but the abyss was too deep. At dinners here, at this 3-meter table that shines from being so clean, they talk about their own investments, their successful careers. They speak to me with a cold politeness, as if I were a business consultant, not a father. I tried to be vulnerable. I tried to cry in front of them, but they don't know what to do with my tears. They learned the lesson I taught them, that success is what matters. I created successful strangers. They respect my estate, but they don't know the man who built it. I sacrificed my family on the altar of ambition, and now the altar is empty, covered only by the dust of what we could have been together. So here I am, a wealthy man in an empty house. I walk across the marble of this home every day, and every reflection reminds me of a missed opportunity. Do not make my mistake. Do not let the search for tomorrow steal your today. The stock market will go up and down. Empires will fall. But time with those you love is the only currency that never loses value. It is the only investment that yields an eternal return. Stop now. Look at the people around you. Listen to your children's laughter, even if it interrupts you. Hold your partner's hand, even if you have emails to answer. Because the most expensive thing you can ever buy is the regret of having everything, but having no one. Subscribe to Still Time. Let my pain be your awakening. As long as you are breathing, my friend, there is still time. Use yours wisely.